Day 7. On patrol. The encounter with Niam leaves you reeling, her words echoing in your mind as you continue your patrol. The weight of responsibility settles heavily on your shoulders. The fate of the village, perhaps even the world, hinges on finding the amulet. As you traverse the outskirts of the Whispering Woods, a flash of movement catches your eyes. A small furry creature darts across your path, disappearing into a thicket of brambles. Curiosity piqued, you cautiously approach the thicket, parting the thorny branches. There, nestled amongst the tangled vines, you find a family of flitterlings, tiny squirrel-like creatures with iridescent wings. They chirp and chatter, their eyes wide with fear. One of the flitterlings, smaller than the others, appears to be trapped, its wing caught in a thorny snare. The flitterlings chirp frantically, their distress evident. It's a simple task to carefully release the trapped creature, freeing its delicate wing from the snare. The flitterlings erupt in a chorus of grateful chirps, their iridescent wings fluttering excitedly. They gather around you, nuzzling your hand in thanks before disappearing back into the undergrowth. This brief encounter, though seemingly insignificant, offers a moment of respite amongst the growing tension. It reminds you of the interconnectedness of all living things and the importance of compassion, even in the face of greater threats. With a renewed sense of purpose, you complete your patrol and return to the village. The weight of the missing child's death still hangs heavy in the air, but a glimmer of hope shines through the gloom. You have a mission, a purpose that transcends your duties as a guard. You arrive at Grimbold's office, ready to report your findings and seek his guidance. He looks up as you enter, his withered face edged with concern. "What did you find out there?" he asks, his voice gruff but laced with anticipation. You begin to recount your patrol findings to Grimbold, describing the eerie stillness of Rodfang Glen and the unsettling discovery of the ancient ruins. As you mention the inscription and its chilling warning, a voice cuts through the room, sharp and dismissive. "Old wives' tales and superstitious ramblings." You turn to see Seraphina, seated in a shadowed corner of the room, her expression a mixture of disdain and amusement. Grimbold scowls, clearly annoyed by the interruption. "Seraphina," he growls, "perhaps you could allow the guard to finish their report before offering your commentary." Seraphina waves a dismissive hand. "Forgive my interruption, Captain, but I couldn't help but overhear this fanciful tale. These inscriptions the guard speaks of are nothing more than local folklore, exaggerated stories meant to frighten children." She leans forward, her voice taking on an authoritative tone. "The truth of the matter, Captain, is far simpler. The thinning of the veil, the long winter, the monstrous creatures, all of these are consequences of the amulet being returned to the Feywild, not kept within our realm." She continues, her voice laced with conviction. "The amulet, you see, is not merely a key to the Fey realm. It is a source of immense power, a conduit for the very essence of winter. When it resides in the Feywild, its power is contained, its influence balanced. But when it is brought into our world, it disrupts the natural order, unleashing a wave of frigid energy that can plunge the land into an eternal winter." Seraphina fixes you with a piercing gaze. "The inscription you found likely describes a time when the amulet was misused, its power unleashed upon this world. The Order of the Celestial Compass understands these dangers, and we are committed to ensuring that such a catastrophe will never happen again." Grimbold, though visibly irritated by Seraphina's interruption, seems intrigued by her explanation. He strokes his beard thoughtfully, his eyes flickering between you and the night. "So, you believe the amulet should remain in our world?" he asks, his voice laced with curiosity. Seraphina nods firmly. "Indeed, Captain. It is the only way to protect our realm from the bitter cold of the Feywild, to maintain the delicate balance of the seasons." The room hangs heavy with tension. Seraphina's words contradict everything Niam told you. Who is telling the truth? Is the Order truly seeking to protect the village, or do they have a hidden agenda? And how will you navigate this web of conflicting information, with the fate of the village hanging in the balance? Later that evening, after the unsettling encounter with Seraphina and Grimbold, you find yourself alone in the barracks, contemplating the conflicting information and the weight of your responsibility. The fire crackles in the hearth, casting dancing shadows across the room. Suddenly, a flurry of wings and a frantic chirping disrupt the quiet solitude. A frost robin, its breast feathers the colors of glacial ice, burst through the open window, fluttering anxiously around your head. It carries a small, tightly rolled parchment tied to its leg, its panicked chirps filling the room. The robin lands on the table before you, its tiny body trembling. With gentle care, you untie the scroll and carefully unfurl it. The message, written in Niam's flowing script, is a desperate plea. Please, you must be careful. The Order's lies run deep. They twist the truth, painting themselves as saviors while harboring a thirst for power. They covet the amulet, not for the protection of this world, but for the dominion it offers. They will stop at nothing to possess it, even if it means plunging both our realms into chaos. I implore you, do not let them deceive you. Find the amulet. Safeguard it. The fate of countless lives hangs in the balance. The robin, its message delivered, lets out a final mournful chirp before taking flight, disappearing into the night. Niam's warning leaves you with a heavy heart and a renewed sense of urgency. The Order's deception runs deeper than you imagined. You must tread carefully, for every step you take could lead you closer to danger or closer to the truth.